Welcome to Krambamble, a podcast about nothing in particular. My name's Taz.
And I'm Kirsten.
We've just been talking about bodily fluids, but we're not going to give that to you guys. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing lately.
Oh, yes.
And I've gotten to the point where I've gotten the terraforming tool, so I can now create mountains and change rivers. And in this little game, that not to bore everyone with this because it's not a gaming podcast, I can essentially, I can essentially change the island at will, so kind of an element of the challenge has disappeared. I'm now bored of the game. I have received what I'm now thinking of as the ultimate god complex, and I think that's what's happened to the older gods that used to craft elements of our world. They got to a point where they were so all-powerful, there was nothing really stopping them from doing whatever they wanted. They went, I'm out of here, and they yeeted themselves out into the far realms of space or wherever, and that's why they're not here anymore. That's my theory.
Probably looking over an underdeveloped civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, hey, let's mess with these guys.
New challenges and stuff, because it would get really boring being all-powerful and omnipotent. You'd be like, there's no fun in it anymore, especially if, in all of their divine, or what's the opposite of divine? Evil battles or whatever.
I reckon, you know how we were talking about porn and how it's got to the point now where people are looking at really, really bizarre porn because they've just totally desensitized to it.
Gotcha, yeah.
I think that's especially when you read about Zeus.
Yeah.
Like he used to go and
He's just doing everything.
Have affairs with mortal women. And then it just accelerated to a point where he was turning himself into horses and swans.
He's getting the cheat codes. He's like, let's try being a moose today.
Yeah, but there's literally stories of him turning himself into a swan and having sex with a woman.
Zeus, the original furry.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he did get to that point where he's like, you know how super rich guys in... Mm-hmm. I want to say the stock market.
Wall Street.
That's it. Like the Wolf of Wall Street, where they just, they have access to everything.
Quaaludes and things.
Yeah, so I reckon that's what happened to Zeus. He's just like, I've done everything.
He's like, I'm
going to try some other stuff.
I'm bored.
Yeah, now he's like, I'm out.
And you've got a lot of the gods from different religions that have defeated their arch nemesis, and when there's nothing to really challenge their rule or their great power, they're like, I got this sea monkey farm. I got this ant farm, and they're doing their thing, and every now and then I can kind of burn them with a magnifying glass, but I'm bored now. Maybe that's what's happened.
Do you think you'd be a good god?
No. I abuse what power I have now.
I think I would be. When I think about me having I didn't have ant farms, but I kept lots of little insect pets, which is what they would be to us.
Yes.
I got really emotionally invested in them. I think I'd be a very sort of new age Christian god.
It's that nurturing instinct in you, though. And that was most of the way, the feminine gods were always nurturers and carers, and the male gods were just assholes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Except
for Kali.
Kali, that's what I was trying to think of her name.
She was not exactly.
But she was multifaceted. She had 7 different incarnations that would change depending on what she needed. So one of them was the nurturer as well.
Yeah, and I mean her destruction element of her was to create growth.
Yeah.
So you needed your fire in your forest to, clear the brush for new growth. Yeah. So that's the same with the yin and yang. Whereas the men were the male side is meant to be very contemplative and serious, whereas the woman is chaotic, and women have been portrayed as chaotic forever. We've got chaotic personalities.
Oh.
Yeah. So chaos in women is very, very in line with that.
There you go.
Yeah. 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 Just some reading, and that really took its toll on me when I was in my early 20s. I'm like, I don't feel chaotic.
Kirsten thinks that there is a secret base on the moon.
What? No.
Yes, she does. See, she's denying it already. She's throwing up smoke screens, guys.
I just watched a program where they talked about it, and I went, hey, apparently there's a base on the moon.
You heard it first, guys. Kirsten thinks there's a secret space base on the moon. It's not a space base. If it's on the moon, then it's a moon base.
Okay. Speaking of Kirsten's wacky conspiracy theories.
Yes.
All right. I was thinking about this today while I was on my long, lengthy walk. I don't think the coronavirus, I think I'm coming around to the thought that it may be man-made. And not for the reasons you think.
Okay.
I think it is a distraction, right? So if we put everything together, let's say hypothetically a massive asteroid was coming to crash into the Earth.
Gotcha.
And the scientists knew about it.
Okay.
What would they do?
What would they do?
What would our governments do? They would send us home, tell us to spend time with our friends and family, make ourselves as comfortable as possible.
Ooh.
Yep. And the other thing that also struck me as a bit odd is in America, their leader was a former businessman.
Yes.
In Australia.
Super successful businessman, apparently.
In Australia.
Never claimed bankruptcy ever.
In Australia, our leader was a former very, very successful businessman.
I think they're all still technically active businessmen. They just have to like put it on pause.
Either way.
Yeah.
What do you never do as a businessman? Give away things for free.
Okay.
You just don't do it. So both governments have given their people massive chunks of money. That seems very counterintuitive for a businessman to do, unless they knew that these are the end of days.
Oh.
Go home, spend time with your friends and family, stay inside. Here is some money. These are your last days. And I was reading Nostradamus, and he was saying that when the Britney of Spears is the fastest runner in the world, then the end of days is nigh.
The what? When the Britney of Spears
is the fastest recorded human person, then the end is nigh. You can look it up. It definitely says it in there.
Okay.
Have you not heard the news that Britney Spears has just beat the sprinting record of Usain Bolt?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she posted just recently on her, I think, Instagram or Twitter that she ran like 100 meters in three seconds or something, which is faster than Usain Bolt.
Wow.
Yep. So Britney Spears is now the fastest human being on record.
I'm being blindsided all over the shop today. I'm still surprised that you think that Trump and ScoMo are in charge.
You reckon it's the cabal?
There's no way that the real powers.
But I just thought it was I think maybe an alien invasion. Like they know something's up. So they're like, right, we're going to tell people it's the coronavirus. Yeah. And maybe it was just meant to be a cold and they didn't realize how much death it would cause. They're like, oh, God, we did not factor this in.
I'm all about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
So I reckon they did man-make it and it was just meant to scare people enough to stay in their houses and they'd fake some deaths, but it ended up being a lot more prevalent than they expected.
I reckon the fools on TV don't know what's really going on because they're not the real leaders. They're the little puppets that get, fed enough information to say what needs to be said or whatever it is. Because if it was any of the things that it could possibly be instead of the actual virus, these dudes would not be out in public. They'd be in their little bunkers talking from isolation if they were actually important to the real leadership. Because, remember, the military leaders and political leaders are up in the Cheyenne Mountains.
They are.
They are. The Enclave.
The
Enclave. Fallout fans. Yeah. But yes, I can totally see that something else is in the works or happening or whatever
alien
it is.
Invasion or the coming of, is it Quetzalcoatl? Quetzalcoatl. That's a bit, that me pronouncing that one is a bit like you and Göbekli Tepe.
Göbekli Tepe.
Yay!
I am the replacement. The real Taz is dead.
I like this new guy.
Yes, this new guy. I know all of the answers.
Oh, sorry. And the other part of, I nearly said Nosferatu. Nostradamus' prediction was, was apart from the Britney Spears one, was when not a single game streamer has naturally coloured hair. When that day comes.
Oh, we're getting close.
Pretty sure it's already happened. Like there cannot be a streamer online who has naturally coloured hair.
I've been watching a few of them, and it's the regrowth is happening, but they've still got colour in their hair, so we've still got time, people. When Ninja's hair is completely normal coloured, that's when the end of days is nigh.
What does Ninja look like? I've never seen him.
Ninja, he looks like what you'd imagine him to look like.
Oh,
really.
okay.
Just think of a Kyle,
Gotcha.
Yeah, he looks like that.
They all tend to end up like they all look like PewDiePie.
PewDiePie's gone the opposite way, though. PewDiePie's jacked now.
He was the one you showed me,
yeah?
Yeah.
He's huge now. He's wearing tank tops because he used to wear like the full Adidas sleeves and all that, and he'd wear like the tracksuits with the necks pulled up. And now he's wearing a tank top. He's walking around with these swole arms and tattoos.
No, I just meant facially.
Facially?
Yeah, they all tend to look much of a muchness.
White? Yes. Yes,
they're all white.
White males? Yes.
Actually, yeah. Are there any good video game streamers that aren't white?
That's a good question. I know there are good ones, but whether or not there are popular, like top 10% owner ones, that's a different question.
Are white people the predominant people?
In what context?
Globally.
Globally? No.
I wouldn't have thought so. I'm just talking about, like, why are white people popular on the internet if white people watching them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if there was more white people than anyone else, I could understand why they're the most popular.
Mixer and Twitch are American companies.
Okay.
That started with American gamers.
Okay.
So that's going to be your main thing. So it's still America. They're still going to prop up the white people more than they are the people of color. Because it's still going to be, because it's all the algorithms, and you got like your top streamers now. It's still a person, a human being, curating what is shown on the splash page first. It's not a machine that goes, or an algorithm that goes, this is popular, this is why you're looking at it. It's still most likely a dude that goes, you should be watching this guy.
That's really lame.
It's the system.
You know what's really cool is there was an episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Where, and God, I would love this technology in my hands. Maybe, you know what? I would be really sweet to all my bugs as a god, but I would be awful to people. You
Is
know?
this the two dudes fighting and banging?
No, but that is
your
very funny.
second favorite episode?
It's not even on top 10.
Okay.
No, this is about the bees.
The bees.
Yep. So all the bees have died in this episode.
No.
Yep. And they obviously need pollination badly. Yes. So this company came up with tiny nano bees.
Which is also something that's in the works now.
Exactly. Ooh. So these nano bees are tiny little robot bees.
Oh.
And so they go and they do all the pollinating.
Okay.
And they've got hives all over in this show, London. So they had all these hives that...
Seems completely safe, that couldn't backfire at all.
Yeah. So anyway, obviously it's hijacked. Oh, spoiler alert.
It's hive-jacked?
It's hijacked by this hacker.
Oh, no.
Who has this sort of dark web page. Mm-hmm. And he finds people in the media that have done something really, really atrocious.
Oh, no.
So think of someone who's had a huge scandal.
Hacker.
Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. All right. So he goes online and anybody in the whole entire world can vote for kill this guy.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if it gets enough votes, they'll just die. And no one knows how or why. They just freak out, bleed to death and die.
Because of the nanobots.
Yeah. This hacker got access to some of the bees, hijacked them, and like flew the bee into their brain.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But not a complete segue away from what you were talking about. Mm-hmm. Even in that, it was publicly voted. Like there was, yes, the hacker was there, but all he did was make the site.
Yes.
So when they were talking about him, he was just like, it had nothing to do with me. The people killed that guy, not me.
I just put the gun there. They pulled the trigger argument.
Yeah, exactly. Because he said that he set it all up like as an algorithm and then walked away.
So that's actually a program as opposed to like the curation of...
Yeah. He's not sitting there going, all right, they've all voted for this now, let me hack the bee. He's just had it all set up.
Hack the bee.
Hack the bee, man.
Make a shirt that says hack the bee. That'll be our third. What have we got? 2 designs already that we've forgotten. We've decided.
Yeah, exactly.
Third shirt design, hack the bee. Yes. Hack the bee, I like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is if he could do that, why couldn't they have something that made it super altruistic that this streamer or YouTuber or whatever is only popular because of the amount of views?
Yeah.
I wish they had that.
I think, half of it is that, but it's also, it's the same as on a complete, so exciting tangent, has nothing to do with supernatural stuff. The top 10 books in our bookstore this week. Yes, popular books because of that, but you've also propped up a selection.
Yeah, exactly. And it was process. On Oprah or whatever.
Trump was the favourite, but Trump was one of 5 people you put up in front of everyone else.
Exactly.
It's a selected thing. One of the positives, and there are many positives that are coming out of social isolation, are people are going to be more inclined to the old school methods of staying safe in your homes and not inviting creatures in, because everyone's freaking out about don't let people within range of you. Don't have physical contact.
That was actually the most check my privilege first world problem thing I had was when this first kicked off. When my grocery delivery guy came to deliver the groceries, they usually bring them in and put them on your kitchen bench.
Yeah.
And he's like, sorry, I can't do that anymore. And I was like, I'm going to carry my own bags into the house.
It's probably getting harder for vampires to feed now.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, if he was a vampire, I was willingly inviting him into my house.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, but God, that's a good cover for a vampire. Grocery deliveries.
Yeah.
Make sure you have heaps.
We spoke briefly about it with Uber Eats too.
Yeah, but you don't tend to invite your Uber Eats guy in the house.
That's a fair point.
But with your grocery delivery guy, I'll bring these to the kitchen for you. Yes, please, that'd be lovely.
Guess what, valued shoppers? We're now offering deliveries after daylight ends. Oh, wow, someone can deliver after I get home from work. Sweet.
Yeah, I'd be so down for that. Oh, I would have been munched on 100 times over.
Vlad's Groceries now does after dark deliveries. Winner.
And they could deliver my do cakes.
Your cakes. You need to give up on the cakes.
Cakes are
happening. No one wants your demon cakes.
Yes. And ghost and demon cakes.
No demon ghost cakes.
I'm telling you right now, those paranormal investigators would be clamoring for my ghost cakes.
Your paranormal investigators are all sitting there on unemployment because they're not allowed to leave the house.
Well, exactly. They could even do like unboxing videos with my cakes.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Kirsten, stop mentioning the cakes, he says to me off air. I'm like, nope, this cakes is going to be a regular feature.
Pause the recording, have a stern talk about your cakes. Look, let it go. You need to let it go.
I actually did see someone online had done goth cakes.
Oh, yeah, there'd be a huge market for it, especially around...
I don't know
Why am I saying November in my head? October.
Yeah. Halloween. I don't know if goth is going to be such a thing. Because, everyone loved the macabre because we lived in a very safe...
True, because it was outside the norm.
Yeah, we lived in a very safe environment where you could sort of dance with the devil, so to speak.
Yes.
But now it's like death's at your door.
Ew.
It's like, I don't know if I feel comfortable, painting myself up for Los de la Muertes or whatever it is.
It very quickly, especially in America, spun from I'm not afraid of it to oh my God!
Stop touching me!
Don't touch me! Yeah.
I was thinking about that when I was walking today. I was like, man, I wish I had some mace.
Some random person runs up to you and gets within 1.5 meters. No!
I even had a script in my head. I'm like, I have mace in my bag and it's at the highest Scoville levels that I'm legally allowed to have.
It's like the new leprosy almost. The fear of someone being infected.
Why would anyone run up to me and try and touch me? I can't imagine why they would.
The next mutation of the virus makes people crazy and they have to have physical contact.
28
to pass
Days
it on. Yes.
God, I love that film.
Such a good one.
Oh, so good.
28 Weeks Later was not so great.
I don't know if I watched that one.
It wasn't good. They tried to show you like the aftermath of society trying to get itself sorted and like the little pockets of people still infected.
Was that the one where they went? I can't remember which one it was.
It's like a big mansion.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay, I didn't hate that one.
The main character was a girl, but it was so long ago I can't remember.
I didn't hate that one.
And like all the military guys.
It wasn't as good as I liked the first one because, and I know I've mentioned this before on the podcast, it had an opening scene exactly like Day of the Triffids, which was one of my favorite sci-fi books.
I've read it, but I haven't watched the old movie.
What, 28 Days Later?
No, the Triffids.
I never watched. I didn't even know they made a film.
It was, I presume, really bad. I don't remember it. I blocked it out.
I can't. Yeah.
It was terrible.
You got to read Day of the Triffids in school?
We had our, what's the term, where you compare your texts? Day of the Triffids and Oh, what's the name of it? Piggy gets killed in it.
Lord of the Flies?
Lord of the Flies. They were our comparative texts.
Oh, right.
And I blocked out the comparison.
Okay.
I enjoyed Day of the Triffids more than Lord of the Flies, and I've forgotten both, to be honest.
I think Day of the Triffids was great, and it could only be a book. Because if you tried to make like a mutant space plant, it's going to look campy.
People are just going to think it's Pokemon now. It's basically Bellsprouts everywhere.
Just going to be super camp. But in the book, like your brain could gloss over the fact of how weird it would look.
Okay. Hold that statement in your mind. You could never have Day of the Triffids as a movie because it's too camp. Now I want you to hold that in a little glass jar similar to the one in, what's it called? Beauty and the Beast?
Yep.
There's your rose with none of the petals falling off.
Yep.
We exist in a world where there are 7 Sharknado movies.
You win.
Yeah, like your statement in its glass jar makes sense. But then you go look at this abomination over here that's popular.
Yeah. But you haven't gone, these great standalone films,
they exist.
Sharknado.
Yeah, they exist. And you're like, you know what? Day of the Triffids sounds like an amazing film. Let's make it.
Never said that you couldn't make Day of the Triffids. I'm just saying it wouldn't be very good.
I know. But now, comparatively to Sharknado, I think Day of the Triffids would be an amazing film.
I reckon if they did it like the way you and I really like horror films, where you never get to see it.
Just don't put Tom Cruise in it. Just don't put Tom Cruise in it, you'll be fine. Because he ruins them. The Mummy. That was supposed to be a good thing and they ruined it.
Okay. I was talking about the actual monsters. And yeah, if they did it so that you never knew what it was, I think that would make it amazing.
I think also if you set the movie instead of, because I believe it was set in England, so it was like in the streets of London or something. Was that right? He was wandering through the streets
so, yeah.
and the Triffids were like hurting people. If you put it in more of a tropical climate, so it's the same as like the velociraptors when you first see them in the jungle in the Jurassic Park, where you don't go, oh, there's a velociraptor. You just see a little bit of movement, it's camouflage. Like, was that the velociraptor?
Yeah.
In the same way, you could kind of have, the whole human drama involved and you change the story. Take the concept, but have the story of different people. Mm-hmm. Have them running through the tropical jungles or whatever. And you'd always see like little bits of moving. You're like, is that a palm tree moving in the breeze or is it a Triffid? And in the last 15 minutes, you could have your climactic again where you see a Triffid queen or I don't know what the situation is. Something like that.
Yeah.
I had the word stamen come to my mind. And I know it's a part of plants.
Yep.
But I imagined that we would call the Triffid queen a stamen. I don't know why.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not a botanist.
Clearly.
It's the stamen.
I think they whipped people as
Yes.
well. They whipped people to death.
They whipped people in the eyes. They blinded them.
No, dummy. That was before.
I know, but they whipped people in the eyes in general.
I don't remember that at all.
Because the guy that woke up in the hospital after everyone was blinded by the meteorite because it was green had been whipped in the eyes by a Triffid. It was something they did. They were dangerous and they whipped you across the face. And he was temporarily blinded, which is why he was in hospital and had bandages over his eyes.
They hadn't landed yet.
No, Triffids existed in the world. They were a plant that was weird. And he got whipped across the face. And it was... And
I need to reread this book because that is not... I thought he went in for just cataract surgery.
No, I'm pretty sure he got whipped across the face. And it was because his eyes had been covered because...
I thought he went in for cataract surgery.
We're going to have to look this up.
Yep.
Because either way, whichever it is...
I love the fact that neither of us... This is why a human memory is hilarious.
One of our past is a lie. One of us is going to realize that we're really like some sort of cyborg creature who's been given a really bad coding of a past, and one of us is a machine. Maybe next episode people will find out. They're like, I wonder which one of them was fake. Which one of them had really bad memories implanted.
Oh my God. If one of us going to be a machine, it's you.
It's me.
Yeah. He eats so much junk and stays so fit. It's not fair at all. No. He's got abs and muscles.
The machines are always like prim and proper and they don't like swears and I'm going to do this because it's
that'd
logical.
be too obvious. They've gone really deep. They've almost gone too deep where every second word out of Taz's mouth is the F or C word.
Too fucking right.
It's like bad programming where they're like, just add some more swears in. It'll make him seem more human.
I gotta know about the Triffids thing now. I can't even go buy the book.
No. Oh, that's the other thing. That was the other thing. Okay, we were talking about the before time. And if there was anything that we missed about the before time.
Yes.
And I was like, well, not really, Taz. My life is very similar. Like, we're not social people. We don't go drinking. We don't go out. It's made no major difference to us. Except for I do a lot of online shopping. But if I want something right now, I used to be able to go to a shop. You know, if I want it right now. Unfortunately, because we have to wait for things to be delivered.
Yes.
It's awful.
So
that's what I miss about the before time, is the fact that I could go to, if I wanted a book right now, I could go and get it. But now I have to wait 3 days.
I miss going to the shops because I went to the shops the other day.
I know everyone's losing their jobs and can't pay rent, but Kirsten can't get books instantly.
First world problems. I miss going to the shops and picking something up.
Yep.
Deciding you don't want it, putting it back on the shelf without feeling like an asshole. I was looking at a bag of chocolate eggs and I put them back on the shelf. I'm like, I'm a monster.
You've just
infected
I've touched
this. I've touched this. And in the event that on my hands is this virus or any other virus for that matter, I'm now always going to be conscious of it. I'm like, I picked it up. I can never put this back. No one else but me can ever touch this.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I never thought of that.
I miss that.
That's so true.
And I look at people and they pick something up and I'm like, that is now yours.
You can't put that back.
That bag of toilet paper is yours forever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Take that with you.
The pictures have started rolling in of people taking in entire trolleys of toilet paper, trying to return them to the shops they bulk bought them from. And the staff with just like the smuggest slight smiles on their face. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir or ma'am, you cannot return this. And watching them freak out and go, company policy, you can't return these.
Yep.
You bought 20 packets of toilet paper. They're yours now.
Who the hell's trying to return them?
There was a picture on 9gag.
Why?
So many people are trying to.
It's not perishable. Just store it.
I know, because they're dumb. They've run out of money.
Oh.
Because they bulk bought it thinking this is going to be the currency of the future. And now they're like, oh, well, I need to buy like food now because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Enjoy your paper mountain.
Yeah. I hate people that did that. Monsters. And that's my story about the Triffids.
Yeah. Came full circle.
If anybody that's listening has actually read Day of the Triffids or seen the movie, which maybe now I'm wondering if that even exists, be sure to send that in to us at our socials, which I haven't mentioned the entire episode, krambamblepodcast@gmail.com. We also have a Krambamble Twitter and Krambamble Kirsten?
Yep, Krambamble Kirsten.
On the Instagrams, if you like the pictures, yeah?
Yeah, and drop me a comment or two. Don't try and market your stuff to me. The latest one I had was, hey, I draw pictures. Do you want me to draw a picture for you? Like, no thanks. I don't want to pay. My prices are reasonable. I'm good.
Yeah, the art commission craze now because a lot of people are at home. They're like, I need to make money from this.
Yeah. Oh, in that case, I might hit him up.
Look, I respect it,
yeah.
But I think a lot of people need to learn the nous of selling things.
Yeah, if he'd said, hey, your page is great, or it mentioned anything about, because it just looked like spam marketing.
Yeah.
It didn't look like, hey, I really enjoy your content. Even if he just wined and dined me a little bit, I'd be more inclined to go, yeah all right.
I think that's where a lot of people that have like crazy sales experience, like pushy sales experience, they're going to do well in trying to sell things like that because they know how to like, what's the cold call? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The cold call? Yeah. The world of cold calling now that you cannot physically be near them and kind of exert your presence over introverts. You've got to like go into their safe space and be like, hey, I got something you need.
Oh my God, my powers are now in full flame because I can't go through a shopping centre. You know when those people come up? Because I am an introvert. Those people come up with their like, would you like to save the penguins? I'm like, yes, please not stop talking to me. Have some money and just go away. But now I can be my full actualized self. If they call me and go, you want to save the penguins? I can go, no, thank you, and hang up. Because I don't have a person looking at me. So I don't have to feel bad.
And now that a lot of humanity is kind of staying indoors, the penguins are probably doing rather well.
Oh, the penguins are going on little trips. Have you seen?
Yes.
A lot of the zoos are letting their animals roam around.
Like the seals, like looking at things going, what is that thing?
Yeah, the penguins are looking at all the aquarium. I thought that was quite cool.
I like it.
Yeah, they're probably happy as anything right now. We don't have people gawking at us.
Less children tapping on the glass.
Yep.
Can you imagine? This has been Krambamble. My name's Taz.
And I'm Kirsten.
Bye.
Bye.
Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.